Thank you for joining us for this special podcast episode by the ministry of David Hathaway. In this short encouragement entitled, How to Walk on Water, we will be teaching from David Hathaway's book, The Power of Faith. In Matthew chapter 14, verse 22, after Jesus had fed the 5,000 and instructed his disciples to get into the boat and cross to the other side of the sea, Jesus went up on the hillside to pray. Meanwhile, the disciples were in trouble, far away from land. For a strong wind had risen, and they were fighting heavy waves. In the fourth watch of the night, Jesus came toward them, walking on the water. If only you and I knew the time that God has chosen to help us, it would make so much difference to us. When Jesus walked on the water towards the disciples, it was the fourth watch in the night. This is the most dangerous and most difficult hour in the night, the time when most people die, when the body temperature is at its lowest. It's the time when some of the biggest fears and the biggest problems afflict our minds, just before the new day dawns. It is so significant that when Jesus is walking towards the disciples, in that storm-tossed ship, the time that he chooses is the darkest hour, when the storm is at its highest. But Jesus is there. In your life and mine, there are many times when we need the power of God to deliver. But God's timing is perfect, coming at the darkest hour, when the storm is at its fiercest. And our need is the greatest. David Hathaway has learnt, after more than 70 years of ministry, that God always answers prayer. And we want to encourage you. God never fails. He cannot fail. But, to get the answer at the right hour, we have to be ready, we have to be obedient, and God will answer at the last minute. David often says that for him, God answers 1 minute before midnight. 1 minute before the crisis erupts. We all have many kinds of problems, many different needs, but we believe in miracles. Do you? You can't have a miracle without first having a problem. If that boat had not been in a storm on the sea, there would have been no miracle with Jesus walking on the water. If you want to see miracles, God is going to use your problem, your difficulty, your crisis, in order to work the miracle. That crisis which you have, that sickness, that cancer, that arthritis, that financial problem, God will use this to create a miracle. Jesus said, I will be with you always. Every day, every hour, in the middle of every storm, in the middle of every sickness, even in a hospital bed, or lying on the road, as the result of a car accident, Jesus will always come. There's never a moment when he's not there. You may need Jesus like you've never needed him before. He is walking towards you to help you right now. Step out into the security of his arms. Whatever the crisis in your life, in the darkest moment in your life, in the moment of your greatest tragedy, in the moment of your greatest suffering, when you're hurting more than you've ever hurt before, Jesus is there. He's not forgotten you. He's walking towards you. As we close, consider the words of this wonderful hymn. What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. What peace we often forfeit. What needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Have we trials and temptations? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Can we find a friend so faithful, who will all our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Thank you for listening to this short message. For more information on the ministry of David Hathaway, visit eurovision.org.uk.